Ladies and gentlemen, this matter is getting hotter every single day. And the more information coming out, the more Zimbabweans are beginning to ask serious questions about what is really happening behind the scenes inside the country's leadership circle. Right now, many people are watching closely because this latest expose involving Rutendo Matinyarare, President Emerson Mnangagwa, and businessman Tagwirei is opening a very deep conversation about power, money, influence, and the future of Zimbabwe. And before we continue, make sure you like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because the stories coming out these days are very important and moving very fast. You do not want to miss any update. Now, let us go straight into the gist. The atmosphere in Zimbabwe right now is very tense politically. Even though life is continuing normally outside, inside political circles, there is serious pressure building slowly. What is happening now is not just ordinary politics anymore. This thing has become a battle of influence, trust, loyalty, and survival. Rutendo Matinyarare shocked many people after coming out strongly and speaking openly about issues connected to President Mnangagwa and businessman Tagwirei. And the reason this matter became very serious is because many people never expected Rutendo to speak this way publicly. For many years, Rutendo was known as someone who defended the government strongly. He used to speak against sanctions, defend Zimbabwe internationally, and support many government positions. So now, when someone like that suddenly changes tone and starts exposing sensitive political matters, people naturally become curious. Zimbabweans immediately started asking themselves one question: what really happened behind closed doors? Because in politics, especially African politics, people do not just wake up one morning and start speaking strongly against powerful figures unless something serious is happening internally. And this is why the country is now paying close attention. At the center of this whole discussion is Tagwirei. Now, whether people support him or not, everybody knows that Tagwirei is one of the most powerful businessmen in Zimbabwe today. His influence stretches across fuel, mining, banking, agriculture, and many other important sectors of the economy. Some people see him as a businessman helping Zimbabwe survive difficult economic times. Others believe his influence inside politics has become too strong. And that is where the debate becomes very dangerous. Because once businessmen become deeply connected to political systems, people start asking, who really controls national decisions? Is it elected leaders or powerful money networks? That is the question many citizens are quietly asking now. And honestly, ordinary Zimbabweans are tired. People are struggling every single day. Food prices continue rising. Transport costs are high. Young graduates cannot find jobs. Civil servants complain about salaries. Vendors are fighting to survive daily. Families are under pressure. So, when citizens see political elites and wealthy businessmen appearing more powerful while ordinary people continue suffering, frustration naturally grows. And this is why this latest exposes later have taken national attention so quickly. Because people feel like they're finally hearing the kind of discussions that usually happen secretly behind closed doors. Now listen carefully. Zimbabwean politics has always been complicated. Very complicated. Publicly, leaders smile together, they attend rallies together, they appear united on television. But privately, there are always camps, alliances, and silent battles happening behind the scenes. And many political observers now believe that another internal power struggle could already be quietly building inside the ruling party. You see, succession politics in Zimbabwe is always sensitive. Very sensitive. The moment people start discussing future leadership, tensions automatically rise. We saw this during the final years of Robert Mugabe. At first, everything looked calm publicly, but inside the system, different factions were fighting heavily for power. Eventually, the situation exploded in 2017. Now, today, some people believe the country could again be entering another politically delicate season. And once names like Tagwirei begin appearing frequently in political conversations, speculation naturally increases. Some people believe powerful business figures are positioning themselves closer to political authority. Others believe certain factions inside the ruling party are trying to protect their future influence. And once these rumors begin spreading, trust inside political circles starts weakening. That is why every speech, every meeting, and every public appearance now gets analyzed heavily by Zimbabweans online. People are watching everything carefully. Even silence now creates suspicion. If leaders say nothing, people wonder why. If leaders respond strongly, people wonder what they are hiding. That is the political atmosphere right now. And honestly, social media has changed African politics forever. Long ago, powerful people controlled information. Today, information spreads instantly. One statement can shake the whole country overnight. One interview can create national debate. One leak can expose hidden tensions. And politicians everywhere are struggling to control narratives online. Zimbabwe is no exception. Now, another thing making this whole situation interesting is the emotional reaction from citizens themselves. Some Zimbabweans are angry, some are confused, some are worried, others are simply tired of politics completely because many people feel the country has spent too many years fighting political battles while ordinary citizens continue suffering economically. People want solutions now, not endless political drama, not factional fights, not power struggles. Citizens want jobs. They want stable prices. They want electricity, good hospitals, functional schools, reliable businesses. That is what ordinary people care about every day. But instead, the political temperature keeps rising. And now this expose has added even more pressure. The biggest question many people are asking now is this: can Zimbabwe move forward peacefully if internal political tensions continue growing like this? Because history has shown that whenever powerful factions begin fighting inside governments, the economy usually suffers first. Investors become nervous. Businesses slow down. Markets become unstable. Confidence drops. And ordinary citizens end up suffering the most. That is why many Zimbabweans are watching this situation carefully. Now, let us talk honestly here. Power changes people. Money changes politics. And when business and politics become too close together, transparency becomes difficult. That is not only in Zimbabwe. It happens across Africa and many parts of the world. But the danger comes when citizens start believing that national opportunities only benefit a small connected group while ordinary people struggle daily. That perception alone can create serious anger inside society. And right now, frustration is already high. You can feel it online. You can hear it in conversations. People are emotionally exhausted. And the younger generation especially is becoming more vocal now. Young Zimbabweans are asking tougher questions than before. They want accountability. They want transparency. They want to understand who controls resources in their country. And most importantly, they want hope for the future. Now, another thing making this matter even more explosive is that some people believe these public disagreements may only be the beginning. Remember, in politics, what the public sees is usually only a small part of the full story. The real negotiations, the real disagreements, the real power battles, most of them happen privately. So whenever insiders begin speaking publicly, it often means tensions behind closed doors are already serious. And that is why many people are paying attention to Rutendo's words carefully now. Because people are wondering whether this is simply personal frustration or whether bigger political cracks are beginning to appear inside the system itself. And if bigger cracks are truly forming, then Zimbabwe could enter a very sensitive political period over the next few years. Now, one thing Zimbabweans understand very well is that politics can change very quickly. Very quickly. Today, people are allies. Tomorrow, they become rivals. Today, people defend each other. Tomorrow, they expose each other. That is how politics works everywhere, especially when power, money, and influence are involved. And honestly, this whole story feels bigger than just one disagreement. It feels like something deeper is happening underneath the surface. That is why citizens are listening carefully. That is why social media is full of discussions every day. That is why everybody wants more information. And while all this is happening, Ordinary life continues. People still wake up early. They go to work. They hustle. They sell in markets. They run businesses. They struggle to survive. But behind all that daily life, there is growing uncertainty about where the country is heading politically. And uncertainty creates anxiety. Now, let me say this very clearly. Zimbabwe is a beautiful country with talented people, strong culture, educated youth, and huge economic potential. The country has everything needed to succeed: natural resources, agriculture, tourism, minerals, smart young people, strong entrepreneurs. But political instability and elite battles continue slowing progress, and many citizens are simply tired of seeing opportunities disappear because of endless political conflict. That frustration is real, very real, and that is why stories like this spread so fast. People want answers. People want honesty. People want transparency. Now, as this whole situation continues developing, everybody is waiting to see what happens next. Will more information come out? Will there be official responses? Will political tensions calm down? Or will this matter become even bigger in the coming weeks? Nobody knows yet. But one thing is certain: Zimbabwe is entering a very important political moment, and the decisions made during this period could shape the country's future for many years. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep watching closely, because this story is far from over. And if you are enjoying this breakdown so far, please smash the like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others so more people can join the conversation. There is still a lot more deep gist to talk about in this matter, including the hidden political alliances, the pressure inside the ruling party, and why some powerful people may already be preparing for future battles quietly behind the scenes.